game winning streak. But will this come to an end today? They've got stars throughout the squad, but really come together as a team under coach Lee Weatherall, and that's why they're on top. There's also a key matchup in the fullbacks as the informed Stephen Wakeford and the Hornets take on James Blackwell and his Leopards, Otahuhu. They fought off Glenora last week and kept hold of the Rooster. They've just had their 100-year celebrations, and congratulations to them. But the Hornets just hit 50, and they have their own party planned. You've got the Howick Hornets and the Otahuhu Leopards battling it out for the top spot in the Fox, right here on the home of the Fox, Māori television.
E te iwi nau mai kia whakaata Māori atu i a Mountfort Park Manurewa mo tēnei te rauna tuawhitu no pakanga ki Wainganui ngā Howick Hornets me ngā Otahuhu Leopards mo te Appliance Shed Fox Memorial. Kia ora whānau, welcome to round 7 action here for the Appliance Shed Fox Memorial and Whakaata Māori, home of the Appliance Shed Fox Memorial. For this, the round 7 clash between two of the heavyweights of the competition, the Howick Hornets and Otahuhu Leopards, two teams that came into the competition at opposite ends of the spectrum following the grading rounds, now see themselves sitting 1 and 2 on the table thus far this year. Now, joining our commentary team, seeing that Te Aere Maipi still can't handle the cold weather and the wet weather, is someone a lot more talented and also a lot better looking. That is Lindley Tierney Mani. Now, Lindley, now for the folks that don't know you too well at home, aren't familiar with your playing career, just talk us through some of your playing career highlights.
I started playing for the Mount Wellington Warriors back in the early 90s, and from there had the pleasure of making representative honours playing for Auckland Māori, New Zealand and New Zealand Māori, and it's been a great time.
Now, how's the standard of women's rugby league in New Zealand at the moment? How's it travelling?
It's deplenished just a little bit over the last few years, with a lot of the girls retiring at the last World Cup. But it's looking very strong at the moment. We've got a good secondary schools competition going through Auckland that's getting well guided by Leah Whitihira. And we just had our nationals down in Wellington last weekend and chose a train-on squad of 26 very talented and young players to hopefully be to represent us well, and we'll make the cut in our camp in August and go over to the Gold Coast in October.
Now, your long career playing rugby league, you must have had a few highlights in your time. Can you pick one out for us?
No, can't pick one out at all. It's just been a great time. The whole career has just been absolutely fantastic, and I've been blessed to enjoy it so much. Thank
you very much, and looking forward to hearing your comments, Lindley. Well, joining also our commentary team is our rangatira commentator, that's Dale Husband. He caught up with two of the players from each of the sides, that's Robertson 2 and Time Nico Dow, to talk to them about their opinions on today's game.
Robertson 2, eh? Well, to be honest, I don't know a heck of a lot about Robertson 2, but it's very nice to meet you face to face, Robertson. Maybe you can share with our whānau back on Māori television as well a little bit about yourself. Born in New Zealand but headed to Aussie when you were young?
Yeah, I went over there when I was a kid, so I played a little bit of footy over there. So played for Tiger, the Estuary ball team, and went to Newcastle, played some footy there. And then came over here 3 years ago to visit some family, and then didn't want to go back. Loved the footy over here.
Good on you. It's good to see you in a team that's doing very well. Otahuhu are travelling fine under Peter Kashipola. You've already played with Peter for a couple of seasons for the under-20s as well. What are you learning from him, Robertson?
Yeah, just basic skills in there, just to learn how to ball control and getting to the tackles and, trying to slow the players down. Yeah.
You've got some good guys in your team, some big, powerful men through the forwards, and it's working well for you wide. Big game today against the Howick Hornets. They're a good team. What do you hope to be able to do this afternoon?
Hopefully I don't drop the ball and maybe get some tries, and trying to get out there and try my best to, for the team.
Well, good luck for the game today. It's going to be a tough game, and I know you'll be doing your best. Thanks very much, Robertson.
Thanks.
Now, the Leopard centre is playing some great footy at the moment. He's good under the high ball, can step off both feet. 22-year-old churchgoers in his second season in the Fox and has come up through the grades with coach Peter Kashipola. The young Samoan super fit, turns up to training an hour early and puts in work in his own time. Every team's got one of them. He's always worn the number 4 jersey and isn't afraid to put the big hits in. With his skill, speed and good attitude, he's going to go a long way. But what will he add today? It's the Otahuhu Leopards and the Howick Hornets right here on the home of the Fox, Māori television. Well, Tyne, you've joined up with a terrific team coming back from Melbourne. Did you enjoy that experience in there running with the Storm for a while and enjoying being home?
Yeah, no, it's good. It's learned a lot of things over there, and good to be back with a solid team over here. Yeah.
Now, Lee's got the team running real well, 5 from 5 coming into today's match, and of course you've been very instrumental in helping that success rate. What are you hoping to prove today against a crack Otahuhu team?
Yeah, no, we're looking to have a good performance here. All the boys know it's going to be a tough game, and it's a bit of wet conditions today, but yeah, hopefully come away with a good win, and hopefully, yeah, they'll pull the boys through.
Well, look, obviously your old man's well known in league circles, but you're carving your own reputation. How supportive of him has he been, and how much advice does he give you?
Oh, yeah, no, he's pretty supportive. Just gives me the tips here and there, but yeah, just gives me the information that I need, I suppose. I don't know, yeah.
Well, the whānau down Noheniwa will be watching out on Māori television, hoping that you score a few tries, and I guess you will be too.
Yeah, hopefully. Try to get over and dot down, yeah.
Good luck, mate. Good luck with the game today.
Cool. Cheers.
Well, two boys will be sure to want to feature in the highlights package at the end of this clash between the Otahuhu boys and the Howick Hornets. Now, hoki mai e te iwi ngā te mea amuri I tēnei o ngā pānui, ko hikinga ngā tai aha, ko whakatakoto ngā mānu kai nei, kei te tatari mātou mo te tangi o te pū tātara. Hākua nei ka hoki mai mātou ki te pāpāho, I te wāhanga tuatai o tēnei pakanga ki Wainganui, ngā Otahuhu Leopards me ngā Howick Hornets.
Relive the greatest moments.
He's still on his feet. Noble could score. That's a great try for New Zealand.
In the history
This is the rugby that people want to see. This is great rugby, tremendous.
of the Rugby World Cup.
Hunting like a pack. Cuts inside. It's on Otahuhu.
He goes to Kiri. Aklam goes all the way. And that is the stairway to rugby heaven.
Rugby World Cup classic matches tonight at 8.
Matariki Festival 11. Celebrate Māori New Year in Auckland. Programs and schedules at matarikifestival.org.nz. Don't miss out.
Premier Hairdressing College was great because you got real life, on the floor experience. The tutors were amazing, the location was great, and I made some awesome friends for life.
You can cut it with us, Premier Hairdressing College. Next course starts soon. Call now.
He pōtitanga whānui tō tēnei tau me tētahi tāpaitanga. If you didn't get your enrolment pack, then you're not enrolled to vote. Kia whiwhia I tētahi puka whakauru, haerekielections.org.nz, free text rānei tō ingoa me tō wāhino hoki 3676. He ngāwari.
Kua tae mai he whakaputanga hou o te whutupōro Amerikana. He tere ake.
O ka pai tērā, e o makaha erutuka.
He māmā ake.
E karapiu roa, he hopu whai.
Engari, he rite tonu ngā tuki me ngā rutu.
Nane o tau lea lea. Me te poko hiwi ki kino nei.
Steel Dome Gladiators. Rā pare haurua o te kau.
Kia ora koutou katoa, no mahara mai. For the very first time from Mountfort Park, the home of the Manurewa Marlins, comes this top-of-the-table clash from the Fox, the Hornets and the Leopards. And we are looking forward to a wonderful game here, celebrating at the prospect, to be honest. And we are looking forward to a wonderful game here, celebrating at the prospect, to be honest. The Leopards, of course, celebrated their 100th centenary last week, and it was awesome to be down at the club and to see all those old faces there. Your Mark Grahams, your Graham Lowe's, your Roy Christians, your Hugh McGahns, Ruben Wickies, and also Richie Barnett. 5 Kiwi captains from the Otahuhu club, and for a team that struggled in the early part of the season, they really have hit their stride and doing very well. They've only dropped the one game, that was against Papakura, but they have had a draw against Mount Albert, which means they sit on 9 points. As a result, the results from the last 3 rounds. As you can see, a purple patch of form for the Hornets. 34-28 winners over the Marlins. They knocked over the Sea Eagles comfortably, and of course worked over the Northcote Tigers last week. The Otahuhu Leopards, Lindy, they couple of starts back, they faltered, albeit in a last-minute loss to the Papakura Sea Eagles, and then of course beat the Northcote Tigers last week. From all accounts, a tough, grinding game. They were up 10-0 at half-time, Otahuhu, and were able to come away with a 12-10 win over the high-flying Glenora Bears. Here's how the table sits at the moment. As you can see, the Hornets with 10, 9 for the Leopards, and Mount Albert 2 on odd numbers as a result of that draw in round number 1. The Bears are travelling well. The Westies sitting there with their 8 points. And of course, still struggling at the back there, the Marlins and the Sea Eagles. But I tell you what, the top of the table clash between the Hornets and the Leopards is something you'll enjoy here this afternoon on Māori Television's free-to-air coverage of the Fox Memorial Championship. Well, there's been quite a lot of rain about over the last few days here in Tamaki Makaurau, and this is the first time with the new club rooms in the background there. It is the Manurewa Sports Centre, a combination of clubs using the facility. There's cricket, soccer and rugby league, and of course they've just moved from their Leebank Park home. I'll run through the Hornets, and our guest commentator today, Lindley Tianimani, is going to run through the Otahuhu Leopards. We'll start off at the back with Waitford. Teams up with Hill and Hanley, Tomoepo, Nico, Faavesi and Beecroft.
For Otahuhu Leopards, we've got in the back Black Whales, and on the wings Lolo and Whaimana 2. In the centres Walker and 2, and partnering up in the halves Fuanui and Vuna.
To the forwards, and Tony Tuia is in. Lee Wetherall, the skipper, of course. David Moo, tough front row. Blake Huey teams up with Mafo Felipe in the second row, and the talented Andrew Wharton is at the back.
Looking forward to the tussle with the 2 props there, Hala and Court. Bossing them around in the middle will be Boss himself. In the second row, Marsh and Fio, and running off the back, Turu Whenua, who's also the captain.
Yeah, and Freddie actually got his blazer for his centenary game. 100 games for the Otahuhu club during the weekend. Also acknowledged in that way was James Blackwell. The bench, of course, we'll have a look at them in a moment as the two teams get themselves ready for the kick-off. And here is Sullivan, Kitchener, Savage and Lama for the Hornets.
And for Otahuhu, we've got Makatoa, Futu, Moala, Langdon and Wardrop. Very good name there, Wardrop.
I reckon so. He's a talent too. Peter Kashiupoli in charge of the Otahuhu squad, and of course the Howick boys looked after by captain coach Lee Wetherall. We're about to get underway here, and of course calling the action for us on the side is Wairangi Kopu, both the Rotu Te Reo Māori and in Te Reo Tuarua. Great opportunity here to see the top of the table clash here at Wairangi, and Craig Pascoe is in control of the action today. Oh, Hayden Price, excuse me. He must be in for the next one, Craig. Hayden Price in control there. I think he's got streaked here this week. So we're underway from Mountfort Park. Glad to have your company. Ahokone hakotu tēnā koutou katoa, two of the Otahuhu stalwarts. Mr. McManus there as well. He was at the centenary. We might have been there at the start of the club. Actually, he's an old timer, but I don't suppose he'd be a ton yet. And there is Lee Wetherall. And the Hornets will be playing from our left to right in their distinctive blue and yellow strip. Otahuhu with the famous colours of blue and white. Mountfort Park in Manurewa is the home of the game, and this is Tarquin Court. And Tarquin asked me to say a big happy birthday to his niece Ruby Rose, who's turning 1 today down in Thames, and of course his football commitments mean that he is unable to attend. This man had a strong game last week, in fact picked up player of the day. We're talking Tautai Hala, and keep an eye out for him too, because he is a real talent. The Hornets, not big in size, although I might add that they've strengthened that this season with the addition of Tuia and also Andrew Wharton, who's running out in strip number 17. Lee Wetherall is just 100% turns it on as far as defence is concerned. A little bit sloppy out here as a result of the rain over the last couple of days, as Otahuhu carry through to the halfway line and a tackle 10 metres in from the eastern touchline. It's ground running north to south. George Vuna decides to put it in deep, and he comes back to Carl Hill. He just plays it with his legs and then will take the tackle, and a big tackle as well from Turuwhenua.
Oh, look at that four stack. What a great four stack that was for the defence. Coach will be proud with that one.
Here's Tony Tuio. And of course, Tuio, his dad Brian will be watching on as well. Big Tony's one of the characters, I guess you could say, of the local competition.
Yes, old Launchy Tuia there from the Mount Wellington. He played Bartercard Cup back in his illustrious days as a league player, and ended his career on a 100% kicking rate because he potted the last shot for his last ever game for Bartercard.
He's a good man too, Brian Tuia, and of course sideline action for us is Wairangi Kopu. Tēnā koe away. Not quite in yet. We'll get his microphone hooked up. Talk with him in a few moments.
Oh, he won't be happy with that kick. Backwards.
It's a shocker, Lily. Not one of your best. Well, what's been interesting about Otahuhu is through the grading rounds, you would have been familiar with it as well. Most of us stunned, actually, that they struggled to actually get into the Fox. They got in there by the skin of their teeth. But things have turned around pretty well for them since.
Well, they had a bit of a rough start to the season, obviously losing about 11 of their players coming in this year. A lot of them retired and gone off to different clubs and that. Also, the big change in the coaching staff with Richie leaving. But they've battled their way back in and they're doing really well. They're back up there in contention for the Fox again.
Head up time, this time David Moo, he's been good as well. About 25 out from the line as Weatherall takes the ball on his hip as Tuia. Toto Hala puts him away there, centre field in 20. Big chance here for the Hornets to strike first blood, and as they cut across to the left, they take it through their number 6, Leroy Fa'avesi. Put down to the tackle of Boss.
Leroy looked like he was looking to pick up a runner out there out wide, but just no one was hitting that gap.
That ball's gone down. Referee says it's gone down out to Wharton with a surging run. It's Tarquin Court who puts him away a metre or so from the try line, and a little knock on as well.
Bit of that white line fever, eh Dale?
Well, you get close to it, and Andrew Wharton, who is playing at the back today for the Hornets, finds himself with a little knock on just as he gets up to play the football. Tarquin Court made the tackle.
No second efforts in the tackles.
And the Hornets now with the defending scrum to be fed here by Georgie Vuna, 10 metres out from the Otahuhu line. It's Turuwhenua finds Blackwell. It'll be hard on the heavy surface for runners like Blackwell to get traction.
Oh, definitely. They need to get some of the bigger boys in there to just get through that muddy patch down there at Mountfort today, and then get it out wide.
That's a good tackle too, and it's made there on Marcus Marsh, who came through the under-20s for Otahuhu, and he's certainly enhanced his reputation. Almost an intercept over there on the far side. This is Sonny Walker on the far side of the field, pulled down a couple short of the halfway. Through the hands they come, Otahuhu with a bit of run on now.
Oh,
a pop pass, and it's gone to ground, picked up.
Troy's got it. Yeah, Troy picked that one up. Well done, Troy. Always a man on the mark there. Used to playing in loose forward, but Howick's using him very well in the halves this year.
Makes a fundamental error there too, Troy Hanley, as he gets up to play the ball. His captain coach will be disappointed with that as we look onto the bench. And a good bench they've got there too with Sullivan, Kitchener, Savage and Lama. 5 gone, no score here. This is round 7 action.
Heads in locked.
Wherever you're watching that action, I hope you're enjoying your Saturday and Sunday afternoon dose of local rugby league. Otahuhu with the ball. Blackwell gets it and then gets it out to Sonny Walker. Little jinking run from Walker to ground, 8 metres short of the halfway line. Into dummy half goes Blackwell. He decides to work it down the right corridor for Whaimanatu. Back it comes and through the hands. Otahuhu through Court. Court will run it straight. And he's pinged on the tackle on the halfway line by a half Troy Beecroft.
Yep, Troy's, like I said before, Troy's always around the action, always looking for something, whether it's on defence and attack. Grew up playing loose forward, so he still plays the loose forward game even though he's got number 7 on his back.
Georgie Vuna now. And he's tackled on the 40-metre line. Tutu Whenua is running as a decoy, not used this time around. The ball comes out for Funui. Centre field 25 on the 5th and final tackle. Quick play the ball and across it comes to Vuna. Decides to put the kick across. Taken comfortably enough by Carl Hill, and we can go to Wairangi now as Mike's online. Wairangi just looking here and sensing that the wind will play a little factor in this game.
Go. Tēnā koe Dale Hoiana, tēnā koe Huki Linley. E tika tō kōrero Dale. Tērā pē, ko tērā te teo o ngā whakaro, o ngā kapa e rua nei hoi anō, aha koa kei te maranga I nai nei kātahi rā, te maha o te ua I heke ina nahi koera te take mō ngā ahuatanga o te papawhira I tēnei wā. Yeah. Testing times for both of these teams, I dare say, Dale. As you look on, you can see that following the heavy downpour of yesterday, it's going to be very testing for both these sides, being that there's a lot of water out on the pitch. There's going to be a lot of mud. It's going to be a bit slippery at times. And these two teams built their competition points on the back of some great completion rates leading up to this game. So for both of them, it's going to be testing, and holding the ball is going to be the major key. It is going to be tough not to push offloads at times, but as you see, as they just did there, the Otahuhu boys, it's not going to pay off today. Both teams are going to have to bury their heads and look at completion rates as their major goal.
We might just have another little look at that running down the side, but the inside ball was forced. This is Steve Waitford with the football. And it's just a couple of metres inside the Otahuhu half. Still 0, 7 gone here. And with the ball is Lee Weatherall now to Tony Tuia. Geez, worked hard in the early exchanges, Tuia, and the battle between he and Tarquin Court. One of the features here of today's top of the table clash. Here's Weatherall out of dummy half. Wharton is first receiver now to Vesey. He gets it on the far side of the field.
Nice.
Here's the run down the left-hand side.
Oh, he gets tripped.
Time down, Nico with the ball, sends it back on the inside, still with the Hornets, and in fact it's turned over on the far side. Whaimanatu comes up with the football. Otahuhu dodged the bullet, and Tutu Whenua looks to take the ball away from the danger zone.
Oh, once again, how it gets so close and just don't come up with the glory for the try. The white line fever once again, but just great run down the sideline there by Howick Hornets, just couldn't put it together in the end.
So now Otahuhu through Marcus Marsh, some good attention afforded him for Mafo Felipe, and also Tuia. And as you can sense, this may look reminiscent of yesteryear at Carlo Park by the time the end of the game comes. Now this kid is a real talent, Sione Lolo. That's him up to play the football. Gumby they call him, he's only 17. Oh, in fact, I'd make a lie, that was Sione Fell. One of them just still out of high school. Otahuhu through Vuna, launches it deep. Waitford takes it. The phys ed teacher from Howick High School.
Nice,
darting through the middle, and he scored 5 tries one day, and he was just sensational one time we watched him out there at Howick, and we've come to expect a lot of him each time he carries the ball, Lindley.
Yes, he's a great runner coming off the back there and returning the ball for Howick Hornets. He's also got a great name with Waitford, huge sporting background, the Waitford family, and lots of different sports throughout the last probably 20 odd years.
I think there's 7 or 6 anyway lads in that family team. East Auckland family in Pakudanga. And kia ora to the Waitfords. I know that they support their boys left, right and centre. This is Tony Tuia. I don't know how long he'll be able to carry on with this because his workload's been enormous. Now it's to Weatherall. He steers one into the end goal. That's a good kick and a terrific chase as well, but it manages to find its way dead in goal. So we'll restart on the 20-metre line. But again, probing and looking for opportunities. Lee Weatherall is very deft with the kick, and that was certainly well weighted and gave him half a chance.
Yeah, I think if he just gets it just a little bit further in field, so it puts the fullback that's coming across on defence, he should be able to hook his mate Nico up on the wing for a good try.
That's pretty close there, Wairangi.
Koera, Dale. He whakaaro pai ngā te kapa o ngā Howick Hornets, tērā pēr, he rautaki nā rātau kia whanga te pōro poto, ki runga i a Papatūnuku, nā te mea te reti haere o te pōro. Yeah, it's a good tactic from the Howick Hornets. I think it's going to be something that both teams adapt for this game. Obviously, the conditions playing a massive part in how the ball rolls. Whether it sits up in the end goal, how slippery, how difficult it is going to be to collect the ball on the run for the defending side. But definitely these conditions are going to suit the big boys up front. Today, being that it is going to be a bit of a slower game, there's not going to be a lot of sideways movement from the back, so and the game is going to be a little bit slower. So the big boys like Tony Tuia and stuff, they're going to be able to play for a lot longer minutes in this game.
Waitford goes to dummy half and then picks up Troy Handley, who can't advance the cause. Tackle made out wide there by Robertson too. Interesting to hear from Robertson that he played SG ball for the West Tigers, and also had a run up in Newcastle before coming home. Seemingly just enjoys it back here in NZ and bucks the trend somewhat of a Kiwi boy returning home rather than going across the Tasman. With the ball now is Andrew Wharton, played some footy down at Mangere East. Of course, Wharton now caught, makes the tackle on and just short of the halfway. Boss is being busy as well. Across it comes to Davey Moo. Moo gets the offload and across to Beecroft, who launches it high and handsome. Taken brilliantly on the far side by Whaimanatu. Shadowed in the tackle by Blake Ilwe, who puts him away now 15 metres short of the halfway line. Back it comes for Marsh now. Marsh straightens the attack. This is good stuff, and it was always going to be a tough opening 10 minutes. We're coming up to 12, no score. As Tutu Whenua with a bold carry once again comes up 5 short of the halfway line. Moo, the tackler. They decide to work down the left-hand side. It comes to Blackwell. Wraps it around on the inside for foul. He can't get through the tackle of Felipe and puts him away. 10 metres inside the Hornets line. Great little run here from the Indian rubber man. Lays it on for Vuna. Cut down by Tuia.
Absolutely hammered by Tuia. Good read there.
Great tackle. Now it's Blackwell. Decides he'll go across to the right-hand side through Few Nui. Keeps it hot out there for Walker. Walker with the ball close to the line. Loses it at the last moment.
Oh, that was jolted out by Leroy. Well done, Leroy. Good defence there from the number 6 for Howick.
Otahuhu stalwarts disappointed as their best chance thus far in the game. It's a turnover of possession. The Hornets will work it away from their goal line.
No, it didn't go dead. It was kicked dead.
After we see starting run, this is Sonny Walker. And the ball is jarred loose. Quite rightly you picked up on that with Fa'avesi forcing the ball out of the hands of the talented playmaker. Back to Tuia. Boss puts him away. 6 from the line. Out of dummy half goes Fa'avesi. That's a good carry from Fa'avesi. Takes him to 22.
Well done, Leroy. He's got to get in there and get involved, getting a few dummy half runs out while his forwards are getting a bit tired and can't take those runs off him. Oh, Tuia. Oh, they're finding it very hard to keep Tony down today, aren't they, that Otahuhu pack?
Well, understandably, he's a big unit, Tony. But I've been very impressed with his work rate in the early exchanges. With the ball now is Moo. He too's a sizable unit. He'll play it on the 30-metre line. Out of dummy half goes Lee Weatherall. Picks up the hard-running Felipe. He's straight and true on the 5th and final tackle now for the Hornets. Down the right-hand side, this is Weatherall. Punches it deep. Shone Lolo's got his eye on it. He will take it. Holds up a little bit in the puddles that have developed here on the Mountfort Park surface. And they play the ball back to Robertson 2 now, about 15 out from his own line. 2 will do wise to just hold on to the football.
There's a good little kick from Weatherall. You'd want to try and get it down there into those puddles where it's not going to roll around too much, and put the wingers and fullback under a bit of pressure. They can't get a good run off that ball. So yep, well done. Good kick, Weatherall.
This is Marcus Marsh. He takes the ball up just a couple of metres. Walker to dummy half. Funui now caught. He does get caught, just 6 metres shy of the halfway line. 5th and final tackle called on the Leopards. First receiver, Blackwell runs decoy. Then it's to Vuna. Vuna puts one in behind, and it just eludes the hand.
Was he inside?
Of Troy Beecroft.
No. Almost a 40-20.
You're looking for a 40-20?
Yeah, I was looking, see if he was inside, but it didn't quite make that 20.
We don't see as many 40-20s as you might expect, Wairangi. I know they're difficult to pull off, but there doesn't seem a penchant for the playmakers to decide on that 40-20 option through the Fox. Would have been a useful one if that had come off.
That's right. whana Ira Patka.
Guys, let's put your hands in. Look.
Kimu, you're right. You know, I suppose from this, under these conditions, it's going to be very difficult to kick 40-20s. You know, being that it's wet, it's slippery. You know, the ball's probably going to sit up in some sort of puddle at some stage. But you know, it is something that we haven't seen a lot of on Māori television in the Fox Memorial. A lot of 40-20s. You know, there's a lot of skill, I suppose, within each team, especially the big boys taking the hit-ups, and you know, it's just not one tactic that we've seen a lot of, and it should be something that maybe teams develop.
Second rowers.
First Tommy up, Bo loses the ball on the first tackle, so Lee Weather will be dark on him for that. As Vuna takes the ball now, it's Blackwell, not too many opportunities, and again,
great tackle, Troy Beecroft.
He comes from behind, jars the ball loose out of Blackwell's hands, so tit for tat there, and first tackle loss of the football, and of course completion's going to be what it's all about. At the moment the Hornets 6 from 10, 5 from 9 for their opponents. Possession pretty even, and missed tackles 3 to the East Aucklanders, 2 for the boys from Mount Richmond. The scrum feed goes Beecroft's way to Waitford, who takes the ball from the scrum base and is picked off by his opposite, James Blackwell, and a chance for Howard to work away from their danger zone. Obviously, Lindy, you know, the conditions are making it tough, but hey, the team that has better ball control are going to come up with the 2 points today.
Well, absolutely. You know, coming into this game, you'd know that it's been raining all night last night. You're going to be running on a real slippery track, so, and that ball's going to be like a cake of soap, so you just need to look after it. Otherwise, you're just going to keep losing it, and that was well done by Troy Beecroft there, just punching the ball out on Otahu's first. Another lost opportunity by Otahu.
Down the right-hand side come the Hornets, and still no score. If you want it tight and tough, you're getting it just how you might have expected it.
Clear.
Tipster's saying expect an arm wrestle here is 1 place 2, and that's exactly how it has panned out. That kick from Wetherell goes too deep. In fact, it came off the boot of Troy Beecroft. And really, just still within that settling period, aren't we, Lindley?
Yeah, well, I think Troy's just booted it dead as a part of a plan to just give the boys a bit of a rest in the middle for his team, and let Otahu try and just sludge it out without any advantage against them.
Boss at dummy half. Now to Marcus Marsh. Enjoy seeing the young footballer from Otahuhu enjoying success. Young Marcus, good kid, and nice young man. His future there is strong. This is Fred Turuwhenua, normally as a prop. In fact, last season you may recall they ran Fred 80 minutes every game. Of course, Richie Blackmore in control of the Otahuhu Leopards during last season. And what he was able to do was to work Tarquin Court and the man who's gone across to Mount Albert this year, Swapa Kavaliku, as we see an opportunity almost created for Robertson too. He did very well to stay in the field of play too, sensed the danger as it comes across to Vuna, and Vuna decides he'll put it on the boot. Waitford steadies himself, 15 from his line, takes it confidently, and then gears up for another tilt at the defensive line. He's taken in the tackle of Fiunui, centre field, and 20, in fact 32 metres out from his line. Timedale, Nico Dow with the football, and across it comes now to the replacement on the field. Little offload there, and 3 is Troy Hanley.
3 now! Release him! Oh, go. Oh, stand now, Carl!
6 or 7 metres inside the half. New runners in there. This is Buddha Savage.
Final!
And number 16, fifth and final tackle is the call on him. Whether it will go to the left-hand side and then punch it into the corner, but Faimanatu reads the play superbly, positions himself well, and gets hold of the football before getting away from 3 or 4 players, and then goes to ground 25 out from his line and 2 in from the western touchline here at Mountfort Park.
Oh, the left side for Howick would be dirty at themselves for it. There was about 5 of them there trying to stop him. What a great run from Otahu.
20 minutes gone, still 0-0. 1 place 2, Fox Championship. Māori Television free-to-air bilingual coverage of the top premier club competition in the country. Totai Hala gets up very gingerly through Blackwell, who's doing a lot of first receiving for the Leopards. Back it comes to Vuna. And the battle between he and Beecroft is a goodie. Although this time around I think Beecroft comes up with the spoils because forcing the pass that time, Funa. And the ball comes up in Howick's hands. Dummy half is Felipe. He'll go for by himself. Robinson too, maybe a little bit high. Referee allows that to stay. And a quick play the ball. Wetherill looks for Savage, who offloads again to Lama. Big Anthony Lama, strong off the bench, Howick in 2011. This time it's Wetherill, flung to the ground, scragged by the collar, and the tackler was Tudefenua. 15 from the line. Dummy half Felipe, across to Beecroft. Beecroft now to Vesey. He works it out to Waitford. Good shape to the attack. Waitford trying to get around to the far side, but the tackle is superb. It's Lolo on the far side. Wharton, first receiver. Runner on the inside, doesn't use him. It's Anthony Lama this time. Lama on the surge towards the line. Fifth and final tackle now. Just 3 metres from the try line. Will Howick draw the first blood? Across they come. It's Wetherill with fast hands, but the ball goes backwards. No one home. Scooped up by Hanley. Straightens. Hanley needs to get the ball away. He does. He pushes it. It's touched by Otahuhu. Play on, says the referee, and it's Felipe with the ball. Zero tackle. Wow, great opportunity here at Lindley.
Oh, back-to-back sets, and they're trudging down in that corner. There's experience versus the young blood for Otahuhu, so it could be quite damaging down here if they manage to spread it out wide. Need their fringe runners running the holes. They've got big holes out wide. If they run the right holes, they should be able to come up with the prize.
This is Walton. As you can see, the try line is just ahead of the Howick Hornets. They're mounting a challenge. It's Waitford looking to punch through from the back, but he can't. He has grasped 5 short of the line. Quick play the ball. Here's Wetherill. Wetherill turns it across on the inside. Good ball. Andrew Walton towards the line, and he comes up just short. Great attacking here from the Howick Hornets. Superb defence, which gets found out with the grubber kick through. Great skills. Who is it? Well, Captain Fantastic. Player coach Lee Wetherill sums up the situation. Grubbers to the end goal and is in to pick up the first try of the afternoon. Superb effort. But of course, the benefit of a couple of sets at the Otahuhu defence. But Howick draw first blood. They score 10 to the right-hand side of the post. It's 4-0.
Oh, that was a great read from Lee. You know, like you could see that the Otahuhu forwards were just tiring. And one of them took too long to get back to his line to move back up again, and he just popped it through there and comes up with the prize. Well done, Lee.
The Waitangi.
Hoi anō kōrua waiho mā te rangatira te kāpere nei e whakaara I te arahi haere I tōna kapa ki tēnei tūranga o te papawhira. Well, leave it up to the captain and their coach to lead the way for the Howick Hornets following their back-to-back sets, as Lindley said. Comes up with a 4-pointer for his side after a lot of pressure. Now, great rugby league this is, you know. This is classic, right from under sixes to right up to Premier grade. Now, these two teams battling out in the mud, you know, takes us back to the old days, Dale?
Very much so. You know, it's tight, isn't it? And it asks quite a lot of teams used to running on tracks that allow them to use the expansive lateral approaches. But of course, when you're bogged down somewhat, it's about grinding your way through the middle. As Vesey looks to add the extra, as Julie does so. 6-0 scoreline. They're not on the top of the table for nothing. They've been the crack outfit of 2011. And considering how they came through Sharman into the Fox and then have been dominant in that competition, is testament to the skills and commitment of this try scorer here, Lee Wetherill, who is a superb player in his own right, but also working hard on transferring his understanding, experience and knowledge to his players via that coaching role as well. Mountfort Park is the venue. This is the top of the table clash. On the top of the table, the Hornets up against the Leopards, who sit in second position. First try scored after 23 minutes. It's 6-0.
Keep him down. Now move now.
To the 20. Of course, last week, we know it was a tough day for all the teams. We were based at Fowles Park, of course, last Saturday. Very heavy conditions. Big win over there for Mount Albert, as we see a darting little run come out of nowhere, really, from Carl Hill. Hill now, 15 metres inside the Otahuhu half, are forced to scramble as it comes to Beecroft. Lays it on the inside for Savage. Savage gets the ball jarred loose, and Otahuhu will get the scrum feed on the 40-metre line and centre field.
Yeah, that wasn't really the right option there taken by young Troy, which is a shame. Usually he can read the play quite well, but I think he was just trying to keep to the structure and the game plan, but he probably shouldn't have turned that ball back inside because it came up with a forced error.
And congratulations to you too, Lindley, coach of the Kiwi Ferns, which is wonderful to see. I thought you might have been the first one in there to coach that team, but of course I'm reminded of Janie Thompson, and I know Janie will be watching, and Robin watching the Rugby League, and so a great opportunity for you. That must be a significant challenge.
Oh, it's a great challenge, and it's a challenge that I've been looking forward to for quite a few years since I retired from playing. And I knew it was going to be a challenge, but I just enjoy every moment of it. Yeah, the girls are great, the staff's great, just the game's great.
Well, and also, you know, you're a proud mum too, because your young fella Ephraim is playing very much as a utility at the moment for Steve Buckingham and the Mount Albert Lions. I've seen him running at 1, 2, and also the back of the scrum, has he? Well, 9, is it? I've seen him at 9.
9, yeah.
Ephraim.
I've let him know that he's basically the Kurt Gidley of Mount Albert now, because he was bought by that club as a halfback, and then he's come through the grades, and they decided that he was a bit fast, so they wanted to put him into fullback and onto the wing, and he's had a few games in hooker. Apparently he's going to be watching these games after his game today against Northcote, but he told me that he's going to put the game on silent and turn some music on so he doesn't hear me.
Oh, come on now. Hey, what sort of son is he? Come on now.
He's the son that keeps it real. He has enough of me at home.
Good on you. And it's great to see you from running. And it's a great pleasure and privilege for me to be working with you as a commentator as well, Lindy, because over the years that I've been, like you, loving rugby league locally in Auckland, I've seen you at all the games, and real supportive of young players. It's good to see you enjoying your young fellas' tilts in top grade as well. Wharton on the far side of the field to ground, and with 35 out from the line, loses the football. The referee looks to his touch judge and says, "Hey, sorry, Andrew, unless I get some sort of indication from the touchy that there was a hand in there, I'm obliged to say that you've lost it," and unforced error, which gives Otahuhu the scrum feed. 20 in and 35 metres out from the try line. Just a one try score, and that was in the 23rd minute, scored by Captain Fantastic.
Right, together, boys.
Well, hey.
Nice, well done. Wonder if he's been coached that, because I try and coach a lot of that. You know, if you can't get the play, you get the ball. You mess around with the ball while you're in the tackle to try and force the error. Oh, and he went out.
First tackle, that's the risk you run. I know it's ambitious play and you're trying to do something a little bit innovative, but at times you think that slow and steady through the middle might have been a more appropriate play. This is on the first tackle, Wairangi.
Koe rā teo, ko te kapa ka hāngai tō rātou nei māhere rautaki ki te āhuatanga o te papawhira i te rānei, koe rā te kapa ka whai hua, and you're right, it's the third time we've seen James Blackwell take that ball to the line, and the thing is that all of them are starting to go a little bit sideways. He's holding the ball in two hands, getting to the line, trying to pop flat balls out to his centres or his wingers, and it's not paying off. It's the third time now he's lost the ball, whereas somebody's got to start straightening up the play at some stage, dropping people under. It is slippery, so defenders will struggle to turn back on the inside to cover defenders who are coming hard back on the inside shoulder. So, the team that starts adjusting and developing to the conditions of the team is going to start paying dividends.
Show that young fella.
Oh, well, the Hornets fans will get a buzz out of seeing that on TV. The logo on it.
Go.
Right-hand side run. You know, Lindy, it just makes some sense to consolidate here for 5 or 6 minutes. If you've got the ball, just some hard running, straight running. Wairangi was right there. Try and be a little expansive, but later in the set.
Absolutely, I totally agree with what Wairangi said. He's got it down to, they're trying to just force too many flash things on a day like this. You do need to just get a bit of structure, get a bit settled, get some nice hard runners. Running sideways, you're an easy target for the defence, just like that guy was just there. And they're not running at pace either. So just straighten up, run at pace, and get some yardage, and then let the ones out wide do all the flash stuff.
That's bounced off the upright. Time down Nico with the ball. Spoke confidently in the interview at the start of our coverage today. And the back slam makes him lose the football. Totohala and also our mate Tarquin Court on the bench, but the penalty is given here to the Howick Hornets. And Troy Beecroft will kick towards the western touchline. And picture there, that's Leroy Fa'avesi. He's been very much one of the playmakers that have made it an interesting season for the Howick Hornets. Backward.
Sorry, Dale. I was just going to say, it's just great to see Leroy so involved. And I was watching him last year, and I did have a word to him because we play touch together out east. So, you know, I wanted to see him a lot more involved in the game, and you know, so that he could get that starting lineup and that with the coach. And he's shown his colours, and he's been playing a great season this year, and it's showing with the success of the Hornets.
Lots to like about Leroy's game. The way he teams up with Beecroft is certainly part of the reason that they've travelled so well. Savage now, he gets taken out. It's a big defence, and Tudu Whenua is going to be penalised for a shoulder charge.
Guys, use your arm, shoulder.
Of course, while shoulder charges are legal in the NRL, they are not in the ARL. Really trying to discourage that. A lot of young people look on. Let's have a look at the deemed shoulder charge.
Oh, not much in it at all. Looked like his arms were out ready for a wrap-up, and he just bounced off it. So can't question the ref.
Well, yes, you can, actually. Many commentators do, and you're as entitled to do so as anyone else, Lindley.
I know his uncles. I actually went to school with Hayden's uncles, so yeah, I better not, or else I might get a bit of a slap when I get back home.
Yeah. Here we go now. This is Anthony Lamo. I like the look of this big guy too. He comes off the bench. He's tall and strong, and he's got them in good field position. Keep an eye out here for Wetherell again, because, well, obviously that's where they scored their first try. Double around here on Beecroft. Not too much room for Hanley to move on, and Otahuhu are there in numbers to shut down Hanley. Just 8 metres short of the line.
You know, that close to the line, I would have thought that maybe he would have been coming from a bit of a distance and run a bit of a wedge run to give him a bit of strength going through there, because he was getting met by 3 Otahuhu players, but at a standstill he's just going to get smashed.
Felipe across now for Beecroft. Here's Fa'avesi now. He'll grab a kick to the in goal. Skinny in goals here at Mountfort Park, and too skinny as it turns out. We'll restart it from the 20 metres. Just running through some of the stats here, just a 1 try scored with 7 to play in the first half of this round 7 clash. And possession now starting to favour the Hornets by 60% to 40. They've put on a lot more tackles, the Otahuhu Leopards. In fact, they've had to put on 33 extra tackles in that first half, and they've missed 8 tackles as against their opponent's scoreline. Sits at 6-0. Just the 1 try scored, and that through captain Lee Wetherell in the 23rd minute. Now Otahuhu with the football, up to play it as Robertson 2, and out of dummy half. Over the gains just 3 or 5 metres. There's the winger Sione Lolo. Now it goes to Vuna, who finds Tudu Whenua. He waits it nicely, sending it to the right-hand side, picks up 2 on the far side to ground on the halfway.
Just needing a bit of second phase play in that Otahuhu team, you know, like they're making a few good line breaks or semi-line breaks, and then they're looking around, but there's nobody there with them. They need to get their support run going.
Back it comes to Funui, the little chip over the top, and Waitford, all class, the kid at the back. He's had a faultless first half performance, Stephen Waitford, and he's done everything right, Wairangi.
Tika ngā kōrero te o hoi anō I kōrero tahi mātou o te āhuatanga o te pakanga ki Wainganui ngā haika e rua nei kāre kore ko e nei toko rua tētai o ngā toki o te whakataeta nei. We've made mention of the fact of the clash of these 2 fullbacks today. We've been treated to some great fullback performances this year, and there is a lot of talent out there in the fullback position in the Pine Shed Fox Memorial, but these 2 come in here with great skills, great credentials, Stephen Waitford and James Blackwell, but you're right, faultless from both fullbacks at the moment. James Blackwell making a few errors on attack, but whenever it comes to some defending kicks or little short balls, he's so far been up to the task.
Here's Tony Tuia. It's quite obvious the man they're going to watch for Lindley is Wetherell. He's the captain. He is the conductor of the orchestra, and at the moment he's got him singing a good song. with the ball now is Lama. And Lama's taken 35 in centre field. Heading towards the half-time break. 6-all. We knew it was going to be tight. And it certainly is that. Here is Wharton. Manages to get out of the tackle of Boss. Keeps it hot for Lama. Lama looks to offload, but underneath the tackle of Marcus Marsh, he'll play the ball 25 in centre field out of dummy half now, Wetherill. This is for Avesi. He pushes it into the end goal. This one will sit up nicely. Has to be pushed back to desperately by James Blackwell. And the Otahuhu Leopards will restart from under the crossbar. And we count down towards half-time with 4 minutes to play, 6-0.
Oh, each time, like Howick Hornets are identifying that they've got strength out there and they've got speed to the left. They're just kicking it just a little bit too far or a little bit too close to the post. Once they crack that right position for their chasers, I reckon they're going to come up with a good prize.
Well, the Hornets have had the ball 22 sets. And they've completed 16 of those, but their opponents today have only had the pill for 15 sets. Was that a sound effect you were making there, Lindley?
Oh, it was just big Tony Tuia, just giving him a bit of a Tuia.
Well, thank you very much. I can't help myself too. I sometimes say it myself. Oh, here he comes again. Tuia.
Well, you know, he's running that ball up passionately with every single hit. Every time he's touched that ball, he's running it with a purpose. So I reckon he deserves a big Tuia.
Okay, well, you're giving it to him. Here come the Hornets now. It's Wetherill. Got to be shut down now for Lama. Big Anthony Lama towards the line. But he takes 3 defenders to close him down. He's still only 6 metres away. Wetherill is dangerous from here. Has a little look. Captain Wetherill goes for the line again himself, looking for try number 2. Held up, says referee. To the left they go. Great opportunity. Hornets and wonderful defence.
Great defence. Who was that? Was that Lolo? That was a
Sonny
great
Walker and Pete Faimanatu, I suspect.
Great tackle. They're doing some great defence out there. Howick just keep trying to give it to them all game. Well, all half so far. Good tackle, good read.
Just as we come down towards the half-time, looks like there might have been an injury in that tackle. We'll get Wairangi to give us a summation of the first half of football. Kōrero mai e hoa?
Ahoia no te o rao ko rilni, kāre kore ko te kupu matua, te kōrero matua mo ngā kaioko e rua mo te mau I te pōro. No doubt after, following this first half, both teams and both coaches will also be sending out the message to all the players that retaining the ball is going to be the first and foremost goal, especially in the second half. It is going to be a low-scoring game, and it's going to be critical that both sides hold and complete for as many sets as possible, even looking maybe to kick early in the tackle count and put a lot of pressure on the opposition side. I think this might be Silavai Makatoa just coming off the field at the moment. Looks like he's got maybe a problem with his knee. But once again, as the rain starts to trickle down here, it's going to get even wetter for the second half, Dale.
Well, I guess for those of you a little bit of age about you, you might recall Carlisle Park. Lindley, it's not common to play footy in these heavy conditions nowadays, and of course we're so used to seeing NRL football where you're virtually playing on carpet, and it has to be of such a standard. But really it was very much a leveller in days gone by. The heavy conditions made for tough and uncompromising football.
Yeah, well, these are the sort of playing conditions, and also field conditions that the women's football is used to week in, week out. So players need to adjust. They need to learn to adjust. Those NRL players, they're definitely spoiled, but in saying that, they've earned the spoils. And the need for a great spectator game, obviously, at NRL level.
Here's the first chance. This is the very first chance for Sione Lolo, and Waitford steadies himself.
That was too easy. He made that tackle too easy.
Plays it back now for Robertson too. He finds Georgie Vuna. Vuna sees an opportunity on the far side. Faimanatu's there, so's Marcus Marsh, but he puts the ball down. Offside. And within the 10 metres, says referee Hayden Price. A chance for a try before the half-time break with 1.5 minutes to play. Leopards have the ball on the far side. There's 2 there for Old Rope, I guess. Money for Old Rope. What's the decision made by skipper Tudu Whenua? In fact, he does say we'll take 2. 1.5 minutes to play and a bit of momentum. You thought maybe the 6 might have been a better idea, but that's something that is left to the captain. And Tudu Whenua says, no, we'll go to the break, we'll pick up 2 and you can't doubt that decision either.
No, absolutely. You know, there's a lot of teams nowadays that do opt for, you know, if we get it close enough in that, let's just take that too. How many games have we seen, you know, even just this year that it goes down to a draw and they end up going into golden point. So, you know, these 2 points could make the difference at the back end of the game.
Sonny Walker, who is the goal kicker for the Otahuhu Leopards. Now, the Otahuhu Leopards, if you've just joined us, sit in second position on the table. The Howick Hornets in first with a brilliant 5-game winning streak. They lost their first game, that was against Glenora at home in round number 1 of the Fox. And of course we also had a draw between Otahuhu and Mount Albert, last year's finalists, which mean that the game 10 points. And the flags are up, the 2 points are registered. And that is half time. And just a 1 try scored. That was scored by Wetherell in the 23rd minute. And at half-time here in this round 7 clash on the Fox Memorial Championship on Māori television, it's the Howick Hornets who lead the Otahuhu Leopards 6-2. Stay with us. We'll have a review of that first half, look at all the tries, well, the 1 try actually, right here on the home of the Fox Māori television. Glad you could join us.
Takoto te manuka.
Karawe te rutu.
Kia e ke panuku te kapatoa.
Karawe te romanga. Karawe e piru e harawe ana. Heka. Hei mea pai.
E ki tai koukou, te kaha, tere o te hara o tēnei tākaro.
Pēnei I te naihi e tapahi ana I te pata. Kari kua tu kari ko mai.
Te riki e na reo, rātu te reo.
Welcome to the Energy Spot. What uses a lot of energy, but we get little benefit from? Electronic appliances on standby. Believe it or not, they use enough energy to power not 1, but over 55,000 homes each year. And that's huge. It's a growing problem. We're buying more and more appliances. By 2020, we could have so many that require double the power we use now. The amount of power similar appliances use varies. This TV uses around half the power of this one, yet they cost about the same. Choose products with a low standby wattage and look for the Energy Star. It shows it's one of the most energy efficient. Here's a tip. There are over 10 million home electronic products in New Zealand homes. So switching off when you're done makes a huge difference. It's not about giving things up, just choosing and using them wisely. I'll see you next time on the Energy Spot.
One heart, many lives, all of us affected. Why must the children cry? One heart, many lives, all of us affected. Why must the children cry? Your whānau need you. They want you well. Get your heart checked now.
In this issue of Specific, we investigate the Pacific Ring of Fire and take a look at recent disasters. We profile the successful request dance, plus we have an MMA special with our top UFC fighters. Specific Magazine, Pacifica Māori proud.
With the Taitokiro by-election 2 weeks away, Native Affairs debate the issues with the 3 main candidates, Calvin Davis, Hone Harawira and Solomon Tibune.
Tino whakapono ana hau, tae ana hau tu Victoria tēnei whakatautau.
O tāku whakahoki ki a koe, o tāku hihia, kia utanu te pāti Māori I roto Taitokerau.
I love this party because it's a party of activists and fighters.
And we announced the results of a specially commissioned political poll. Native Affairs live and exclusive from Kaikohe, Monday at 8:30 on Māori television.
Welcome back. Hey, Lindley, you've got a chance to do your call now, because here he comes, the big fella.
Tuia!
Yes, I know it is. Tony Tuia. He had a great first half and just continually charging through the middle. And he always takes 3 defenders to shut him down. So, big man, takes some big stopping.
Oh, he's playing with a lot of passion today. I was going to say old, but he's not old. Yep. Tony Tuia.
And into the huddle we go, and with a bit of luck we might hear a few of the words from Lee Weatherall. Of course, he scored the try, his brother's assisting as well. We'll go and see what kōrero they might have. 6-2 at the half-time break.
Deliver.
Get to the kick, get to the kick. Tackle. Easy, simple, smart 48. Let's get that in the back of your head.
Steve Waitford's had a great game as well, the fullback, faultless. And Lee Weatherall was the man who scored the try. You know, he's just got a real good footy brain on him, and he's wonderful at steering his troops around, sure. But when the opportunity presents itself, he knows too where to find the hole, and that time he was able to capitalise. Admittedly, the Otahuhu squad had been back-to-back sets on their line. In fact, they have been made to do a power of tackling in comparison to the Hornets, but Lee Weatherall making them pay for not keeping their eye on the talented number 9. And he's in to score. We get another look at it. Just dropped it onto his foot, and, ran through 3 or 4 metres and was able to pick up that 4 points. Tough conditions for both teams out there. As you can see, there's big Tony Tuia. We'll have a look at the stats for you as well. And I guess the most telling statistic has got to be the sets, really. 10 from 17 for Otahuhu and 17 from 23 for the Howick Hornets. But the tackles made there really putting some pressure on Otahuhu, and they may be made to feel that in the second half, Lindley.
Yeah, Howick's definitely identified that it's a game up the middle. They're getting some good little dummy half runs off the back of their big props that are taking it forward. And Otahuhu they haven't come to that sort of game. They're looking to try and take it out wide and get some runs down the sideline. But you know, on a day like today, with the conditions being so slippery underfoot, that as a winger, that sideline just doesn't do you any favours if you're on attack.
Missed tackles, 10 to the lips and 7 to the net. You can work out what I mean there, can't you? Okie dokie. 6-2 is the scoreline here, with the Howick Hornets leading the Leopards. We knew it was going to be tight and tough in this top-of-the-table clash, and they are not disappointing. Old school styles out there on the track. Mountfort Park for the very first time, Māori television visiting the Manurewa Sports Centre, which brings together the Manurewa Marlins, the local soccer club, and the local cricket club as well. Hope you enjoy the action. Tēnā koutou katoa. Stay with us because there'll be more, and kick-off. Hey, you might even get a look at this. It's the flashiest coffee machine in the history of a rugby league place. Look at it. Hey, a bit of Ponsonby out in Rewa hard. Oh, lovely. Lovely, lovely. Stay with us. We're back for the kick-off in a moment.
2 sugars, please.
Okie dokie, Lily. Thanks, Lily. 6-2 is the scoreline. It's the Hornets leading the Leopards here in this top-of-the-table clash. And the Fox back for the second half kick-off right after this.
Investigative journalism at its peak.
Expert opinion from Marvin Gutenberg.
Yes, well, there's a little algae down here.
Nobody believes a word that you say, cousin.
Hard-hitting interviews.
I've still got to ask the question, mate, because you used to be a smooth dude.
An award-winning body of work.
Awesome.
With extensive Met Service reports.
Well, the conditions couldn't be more supreme.
Everything you can think of that doesn't involve actual sport. Hyundai Code, Thursday 8:30 on Māori television.
Matariki Festival 11. Celebrate Māori New Year in Auckland. Programs and schedules at matarikifestival.org.nz. Don't miss out.
generation Hyundai i30 for the next generation of drivers.
Premier Hairdressing College, I weighed it up between a lot of other courses.
I'd known people that had come here before. You've got to have the passion for it. Friendly tutors, friendly people to work with, real life, on the floor experience.
Making people feel good about themselves.
When I left Premier, I felt I was ready to go into the workforce.
I love it. The setup was great. They made me a hairdresser.
Premier Hairdressing College gave me a skill for life.
You can cut it with us. Premier Hairdressing College. Next course starts soon.
Baked, fried, poached, boiled, stewed, barbecued.
They look beautiful.
It's Kai Time. Kai Time on the road, tomorrow at 7 on Māori television.
Bonjour, mon ami. Welcome back. It's Mountfort Park, and the action from this top of the table clash is 6-2, the scoreline here. And there they are, the muddied faces of the soldiers of Howick. And they're looking forward to knocking over this Otahuhu team, one of the perennial front runners in the Fox Championship. Of course, the defending premiers as well after their win over Mount Albert in last season's final. There's time down Nico. The kid's got plenty going on too, tall and rangy with plenty of speed. But that speed nullified somewhat by the conditions today, Lindley.
Yes, Otahuhu defence hasn't been letting him have a good free run down the sideline like he would have hoped to. He's had a couple of good breaks, but Otahu's still coming up with the tackles, the defence. They're identifying that he is coming at them down the sideline and with a lot of pace. So big ups to the Otahuhu defence there for keeping him out of the goal line.
Alrighty, there's our man Blackwell at the back, and Sonny Walker is the man that you'll be getting to kick us off and the restart. Playing from our left to right in the second half, of course, and we are ready for action. Referee Hayden Price has had a good game thus far, and here is the kick-off. We'll be tuning in with the coach of the Otahuhu team. Bit of luck if Wairangi is able to get a corridor with them in 3 or 4 minutes while they get themselves set after the half-time break. Now, we expected it to be tight, and it certainly has not disappointed. And this man has had a really massive first half effort. We're talking Tony Tuia. That's him up to play the ball. Back now to Wetherell. As we see a powerful run again this time, I think it is Lama up to play it. And Wetherell turns it right hand side. 2 carries in the set again. I'm starting to think you like saying that. Down the right we go, it's Beecroft. Puts one in behind. And to the back, Blackwell. Takes it about 5 out from his line. The Hornets up there very quickly on.
Great chase, good line. Good line there from the defence, and the chase is coming through. Otahuhu had nowhere to go.
Thanks, Lindley.
I'm getting a growling at the moment, guys, because I'm not pronouncing the names properly.
Just a subtle growling.
A correction.
All good. We've got Wairangi's picked up on coaching corridor. He's with Pete Kashipoli. Wairangi?
Kia ora, Dale. Pete, mate, testing conditions for both sides in the first half. What was the message for the troops at half-time?
Pretty much as you've said, play to the conditions really. Really happy with the forwards. I don't think they made one error, and all our backs made the error just because they're trying to play dry weather footy in a mud patch. So that was certainly the main message. Yeah.
Is that one of the the message to the backs, maybe to keep it around the middle of the ruck? That's how Hornets boys got a lot of big boys around the middle of the park. You could run them a little bit tired in the second half.
Yeah, well, if it gets that bad, I'll just tell the forwards just to keep the ball for the whole set. But I think we could set some inside options rather than looking to the outside, all the time. Because, I mean, conditions are just not allowing us to get to the outside, without going over that sideline. So I think we'll be all right. Yeah.
Then Makatoa came off a little bit wary in that second half. Is he all right?
Yeah, looks like he might have just done something to his ankle. So, yeah, we'll just monitor that and see how it goes. But, yeah, we might be down to a 3-man bench, but we'll cope with that.
Cheers, Pete. Good luck for the rest of the game, mate.
He's a pretty cool character, Pete Kachipoli, and he's done supremely well with this team. There was a lot of eyebrows raised at poor early season form as Beecroft finds a bit of a hole, puts it in behind, into the end goal, and it manages to beat everyone dead, so Blackwell shadowed it.
Good pressure there from Howick.
Yeah, they're playing a very sort of solid game plan. It's not trying to be overly ambitious. And it's worked to good effect for them at the moment. And, obviously to keep this crack Otahuhu squad scoreless in that first 40 is testament to that solid structure that they have provided defensively for Lee Wetherill. To the 30 metres now, Otahuhu, they're working on the far side. They certainly need to try and breach this defence. And very, very solid across the park. Wetherill down as back play, and I wonder if that might be of some concern. The captain coach has been just brilliant in that first 40 minutes. 6-2 is the scoreline. Otahuhu with the football. Trying to find a way through is the scrum half, Georgie Vuna. Vuna to play the ball now on the 40-metre line. Howick, end of the ground. Out it comes to Otahuhu trying to keep the ball alive. It's been popped back. The Hornets put some pressure on the chase, and it is Carl Hill.
Great pressure there by Howick. They've managed to take Otahuhu back about 20 metres. It's well done.
It's Blackwell who puts the ball deep. That tackle is good. 15 short of the halfway line. And up to play the ball now is Andrew Kitchener. Gets it back to Waitford. Finds Tarquin caught, an immovable object, and cannot get through. 10 short of the halfway. Dummy half run. Right smack bang on the halfway line. Of course, tomorrow we're Homa, another hit out with one of the top teams in the Fox competition. We're talking the Glenorah Bears. They line up against the Manurewa Marlins in our bilingual coverage, our Pawpaw, between 2 and 4 o'clock. Of course, you're watching week number 7 of a scheduled 17, bringing you the top club competition in the country. As we see a little kick through there from Howick. Faimanachu has been good on the right-hand side. He'll pick up Waitford. In fact, Blackwell, sorry, at the back. And Blackwell's taken in the tackle of Carl Hill, 15 from his own line.
Yeah, Otahuhu look like, yep, they need to get some good dummy half runs in here. Yeah, just a little bit of a shoulder in there from Howick. They need to get some quick, fast plays of the ball so they can get a bit of a roll on. They're not getting much of a roll on here today.
Sonny Walker desperately close to the touch line.
No. Well spotted, Touchy.
Touch judge says, touch chalk, mate. Come on back. Scrum to be set. Howick feed. Good field position for them as well. Wairangi Korpu. Back we go to you, mate, and talk to us, if we can, about that structure through the middle. You played almost all of your footy at the back of the scrum. How do you think this game's going to be won, Eoha?
Hoi anō e tika tō kōrero tei o pai ana ki ngā paumuri, tēnei āhuatango o te kēmu. I tū hoki a hau I te taho o Lee Wetherill ki te whakarongo ki ngā tohu ona. O tōna hia kia mau tonu ki te māhere rau taki mo tēnei.
Got to interrupt, sorry, mate. Try on the right-hand side. Beecroft sets it up.
Yep. Troy noticed that the defence out wide, you know, they were just hanging back. They didn't come up on any sort of umbrella defence or anything. So Troy just took advantage, got to the outside of them, put his mate away. You know, that Howick didn't even have numbers out there. Otahuhu had numbers out there. So, you know, Otahuhu, if I was you on the left-hand side, I'd be looking at myself, asking myself the question.
Yeah. I'll be marking where the kick is supposed to be. Yeah. Tell them what they're going to do, what went wrong, what they're trying to do.
It's an 8-point try, boys.
Ooh.
After the ball has been scored, Tarquin has come in with his knees. Tarquin, come here. After the try has been scored, listen, you did not try to pull out, you have used your knees, 10 minutes. So now 8-point try, they get a kick at goal. Okay, so after he takes the shot at goal, he's going to have another shot from in front. Okay.
Well, Tarquin caught. It's not his style. I've not seen him with that dirty play before, and if he gets another look at the tape, and no doubt he will later this afternoon, have a look and see what happened. They were found wanting on the left-hand side, as Lindley pointed out, and the try was scored well by Kitchener. Kitchener comes in, and he went over the top of him, Lindley. There were no knees in there.
Yeah, true, but then also it was an unnecessary skid in there, you know, like it's not over until the ball's down, but the ball was down. You know, he had time to try and jump over instead of trying to get at him like that. So I'd have to back up the referee for once on this one.
Okay. Ref lover. Okay, here's Leroy Vesey. He'll get another kick as well from right in front. A little bit harsh, I think, maybe on Tarquin. We'll get some thoughts from Wairangi in a minute. But at first glance, yes, we had a chance to look at it on the replay. And it appears that the knees didn't hit Kitchener. you know, he dropped to his knees just before he came to the man who scored the try. And so I don't think it actually hits Kitchener, but it does look poor.
Yeah, you know, but yeah, a bit of a harsh call getting the sin, you know, the sin bin and the 8-point try and that. You know, could have got off with a bit of a warning on that one. So yeah, bit hard done by there.
No doubt those of you at home have had a chance to have a look at that a couple of times, and some will be saying, hey, the ref got that exactly right, others will disagree. But isn't that football?
Absolutely, and I think Hayden, you know, like he needs to set a precedent so that doesn't happen again, because, you know, it is wet, slippery conditions, so maybe he's just making a point.
Here's Vesey. No problem. So, an 8-point try extends the scoreline now out to 14-2 in favour of the Hornets. As we see Kitchener, great little offload there as well from Troy Beecroft. He's in to score. Tarquin called out time to pull out. Referee says you didn't, and so therefore you will concede an extra 2 points for the penalty try. And as well, disadvantage your teammates because you'll be 10 minutes in the bin. So a tough patch or period ahead here for Otahuhu. And it will really test their mettle. Your thoughts on that, Kaupapa Wairangi?
Hoia no, ko te mihi tuatai atu ki Howick Hornets mo te ro ngā piro. It's a well-constructed try from the Howick Hornets. The first time really seen them promote the ball a little bit, hit a winger in some open space. A poor read by Robertson too, one of our highlighted players for this game, who came in, took his eye off his own man, which left the Andrew Kitchener out unmarked by himself. But I think, I agree with Hayden Price's decision on penalising Tarquin Court. You know, it's one thing that they're trying to stamp out of the game, the shoulder charges. You know, if that's the case, well, then it should be a case of, you know, you get 10 minutes in the bin and, you know, 8-point try for something sort of, you know, to be honest, I think he had plenty of time to pull out or jump over Andrew Kitchener after that try. So it is tough on his side and on his teammates, but you know, that's the way it is in the game of rugby league.
Now with Otahuhu, 12 men, and their skipper, French defender, is going to have to step up now. The drop forward off the park. Quick play the ball. Some of the boys are difficult to work out. We've got park our blokes look very Māori out in that mud. This man's a case and example with Carl Boss. Marcus Marsh will work hard. This kid goes all day. Away from one, then two. But of course the tackle coming across the top is Carl Hill. He'll play it back for Blackmore now. 5 short of the halfway. Really slopping up now the track out here at Mountfort Park. Of course, a new ground for the Marlins. The biggest rugby league club in New Zealand. They've moved from Leebank Park, which is really just around the corner from today's venue. Across it comes to Vuna.
Those Otahuhu forwards really need to get a roll on. They're all standing around. So they look more like a defensive line than an attacking line right now. Otahu's really wanting on some of those forwards to just put their hand up and just run it straight.
Trip and regather. It's always a classy piece of work. This time Blackwell gets it, but only momentarily, and then has the ball jarred loose, and it comes up in Howick's hands. This time it's Vesey, looking for a run through the middle, gets the offload. Tito Lama, Big Anthony Lama is pulled down just short of the halfway line.
He's running some great straight lines today, old Lama. You know, when he first got on the field, he was running a bit sideways, but he must have had the coach in his ear giving him a bit of a whisper saying, run straight, mate, run straight.
Now this is your try scorer, Kitchener. Out of dummy half goes Weatherall, finds Wharton in the inside for Waitford. Waitford picked off by the tackle of Marsh. And up to play the ball, the talented fullback plays it back to his skipper, who runs and then comes across Boss. And he's put away now on the 20 metres. 10 to the left-hand side of the post, says the Howick Hornets look to consolidate. 14-2. They're in front as Tuia comes with the football. Backdoor play for Troy Beecroft. And Beecroft finds a hole. Troy towards the line, spins.
Oh, sorry, not biased or anything. I used to coach Troy as a young fella, and he's just a great football player and a great person. So well done, Troy.
And your mother's enthusiasm is evident as well. Lily Tierney Marnie, football lover and former coach of try scorer Troy Beecroft. There you go. He's a very, very, very good player, Beecroft, and his combinations there with his 9 and co-captain coach Weatherall, and also with Vesey, has been very much part of the catalysts, or the catalysts for the success that the Hornets are enjoying here in 2011. Another try. Remember, they're up against 12 men. Tuia with a nice feed, good dummy, step back in heavy conditions, and then found the hole, the spin and the try as well. So classy work from Troy Beecroft. Number 7 in to score, just to the right hand side of the sticks.
Yes, well done, Troy. That was a good read that he identified. There was just a few players lagging back there right in the middle. So with just a little bit of quick footwork, because you know the track's not that heavy down where he was running, so he identified that and just got through.
Kashiapoli looking on, not overly impressed. That's understandable. The scoreline now getting tough. With plenty of time left, there's over 25 minutes of footy left, so the tries can come, but to be honest, the defence has been so stoic here from the Howick Hornets that you wonder where the bust is going to come. Can you see any vulnerabilities in their defensive lineup at the moment, Lindy?
No, I can't see any vulnerabilities at the moment with Howick, because they're all moving around the park, both on defence and attack as a great unit. Where Otahuhu just seemed a little bit distant from each other. I'm wondering if they're getting any sort of direction while they're out there, and they're also one man down. They need those forwards going forward. You know, if you don't have your forwards going forward in the game of rugby league, especially on a day like today where it's all sludgy in the middle, then you don't have much chance at all.
I guess when you look at the completed sets, you can sort of understand the pressure Otahuhu have been under. They've completed just 12 from 21, while the Hornets have completed 25 from 31, Elha.
Koera ara tetei o ngā tohutohu o ngā torata nei kāko I te wehenga rua ko tērā take kia aro sika rātau ki te kaupapa matua me te otinga pai o ngā wāhanga katoa. You know, that's one of Peter Kashiapoli's messages that he sent out to his boys, was that completion rate is going to be a major factor in this game. And unfortunately, so far in the second half, they've failed to do that, and hence they're failing to put a lot of pressure on the Howick Hornets. Now, down 12 men, all the pressure is turned back around on their own boys. To see Big Tony Tuia taking a hit up before he takes a rest. I just went down to speak to Tarquin Court on his indiscretion, and he said that he slipped over.
Yeah, well, I've not seen that in his game before, and you know, he was a bit annoyed the referee read it that way. Here's Waitford, inside ball to Lama. It would have been a 4-pointer if Anthony was able to take the pill. He couldn't, and so a knock-on occurs, and the scrumpy will go Otahu's way, and a big sigh of relief from the Otahu supporters who travel across town every single time to watch their players. Tony Tuia.
Stay up, boys. No ball, no ball.
Lots to like about his attitude to footy. And gee, he's been really good this season.
Lock him in.
It's a chance for a bit of a rest after what's been a powerhouse performance by the big prop forward.
Well-deserved rest too. It's great to see Tony in good form this year. Always look forward to watching him play, even from a youngster, and even when he was ball boy for his dad. You know, he's always been there with a lot of passion on the sideline and now on the field, and it's great to see.
No, Queer, you're showing your age a little bit, Lindley. Hey? You coached half of these boys on thinking, gee, how old is this woman?
They're my son's friends.
Get on you, Lindy. Here's Tubi Whenua now. Well, I tell you, it's this game is going to be won by Howick unless something magic happens for Otahuhu. And this man might provide some of that spark. It's Marty Langdon. Otahuhu club man has had stints over in Oz as well. And Sonny Walker decides to put it deep. Far side of the field, Kitchener, the try scorer comes in and takes it 10 from his line, turns and faces up bravely. Otahuhu there, it's Vuna. In particular is there first, and also the kicker and Sonny Walker. Centre field now.
Left side, have a look.
We mentioned that the amount of extra tackling, i.e. 6 sets, that Otahuhu were forced to put on in that first 40 would have a response in the back of that second half. And you can just sense that they're really starting to drag the chain here. Plenty more possession, 61% of the pill throughout the course of the game. Howick is Weatherall. Lays on the pass here and picks up Troy Sullivan, I think it is. Just the final tackle called on Howick. They're a couple of metres inside the Leopards' half, and it's Weatherall decides to go down the right-hand side. He'll put the ball in behind Sione Lolo. In fact, he puts it in behind everyone. Beautiful park here, Mountfort Park, and of course, the home of Manurewa Rugby, really becoming a multi-sport facility for South Auckland. It's great to see the various codes combining. It's been difficult to maintain individual facilities, but it's a glorious new facility here, put together by initially the Manukau City Council, which, as you know, has morphed into the Auckland City Council. And there it is, this new facility there. It's Bana Savage.
Tucklin's back on. Oh, well,
10 minutes.
Yeah, Otahu's done well to hold them out. Hold out Howick with the player down. That was quick.
Yeah, well, 20-2. Still a long way to go. 22.5 minutes to play. Tap taken is Langdon. Langdon angles up. The defence is there. It's Fa'avesi. They shut him down. Marcus Marsh into dummy half now. Tarquin called to be looking to make up for his indiscretion, although he denies fault. It was an accident. His little niece Ruby Rose will want to know that Arunks is a fair-minded man. Celebrating her first birthday today down there in Thames. Blackwater dummy half now. And he pushes it across to Chris Few-Nui. Few chances. Great defensive line that they have maintained. The Hornets, as the ball comes out for Vuna. He pokes one through. Wakeford steadies himself. Takes it again.
Have him out, Kitty!
With the plum.
One up! Holding! Holding!
12 from the line. Why don't we call it on mine?
Hoia no ko ahua tau nai nei te poe huki wainga nui e nei kapa e rua. Ka re kore ka hihia ngā kaiako, a te kaiako a pire kia tia pōri kia hikina te ihi. I ngā minutes I whakamuti mo te kemi nei. You can see Peter Ketchapuri sort of starting to pace a little bit. Obviously, down by 18 points, and also having Tarquin Court back on the field. Now they want to lift the tempo of the game a little bit, try and put some pressure on these Howick Hornets, maybe play the game down in the Howick Hornets end of the field, even if that means kicking early in the tackle count.
Just outside for a 40-20, thank you, Wadding. Did you sense it was a 40-20 in there?
Yeah, it is. He's called it. It was on the line.
Yes, well, it seems that Price has overruled the touchy, because the touchy didn't stand inside the 20.
No, the touchy was just like 1 foot, shoe size foot that is, just inside there. So yep, no, Hayden's picked it up. Yeah.
So, great attacking opportunity once again for the Hornets. It's Fa'avesi, goes for Beecroft now. Beecroft holds it, then lays it on the inside for Kitchener, who's claimed in the tackle of Tautai Hola. He played great last week. This is Big Dave Moot.
He's been having a good game today too. Hala there in the forwards, about the only one that I've seen just trying to get some big hits in there. He's been working tirelessly on defence. Not much of the ball for him.
Here's Lama. Here is Lama, and he is close. Court gets at him. He'll be forced to play the ball forward to the left-hand side of the post. 2 from the line. Here are the Hornets looking to strike again. They're up by 20-2. This is Fa'avesi. He grabs a kick to the end goal. The dive is there. Oh, yes. The Hornets are in again. The Hornets are in yet again, and what a team they are proving to be in 2011. They just have it all over the place, and there's commitment right across the park, and they are just playing some superb football. The grubber kick through from Fa'avesi was absolutely spot on.
Well done. Yeah, he just threaded that needle really good, went straight through the middle, and he had about 4 players just running through after that ball. It was just complete urgency to see. Basically, it was a contest who from Howick was going to score the try.
And it was Carl Hill who was the successful man, as we see again the value of the 40-20. Unexpected, because I thought there was some doubt as to whether it actually went inside that 20. The referee, Hayden Price, said that he thought it did, and that's well within his rights. Here's Fa'avesi. There's the grubber kick through. Carl Hill's on the chase, and the Howick Hornets proving very, very difficult to contain closer to the line. And again, they extend that try line or score line out to 24-2. This is an impressive display.
Absolutely. Which there'll be a few words from Wakeford to Hill after the game today. They'll be having a bit of a giggle, saying I got there first. No, I got there first, because they both pretty much got to the ball at the same time. Bit of a sprint through, so they'll be watching the replay to see who was faster off the mark, I'd say.
Mr. Infallible today is Leroy Fa'avesi. So far with the kicking tee, 4 from 4, looking to make this 5 out of 5. Let's ride home with him. Sucking in the big ones, eyeballing the sticks. Picture concentration to the ball, eye on the ball, and not off the ball. Right at home, good images. Round it comes, no problemo. And they further kick away to 26-2. There's plenty to like about the way the Howick Hornets are playing today. Wairangi Kōpū.
Ka mihi atu ki te kapa katoa ngā Howick Hornets e mahi tahi ana mo te roanga o tēnei kēmu. Great work from the whole side of the Howick Hornets today. The forwards have really led the way, but the backs, very little errors. They've set up tries really well, and they've guided their team around the park. Lee Witherell in particular, their captain. I listened into his halftime speech, and one of his major messages out to his boys was he really wanted to focus on correct play of the balls, getting up and making sure you focus correctly on play the balls. As we see an error from the Howick Hornets boys straight after I say that, but that was one of his major messages, and it's paid off. These first couple of sets out after half time, they're starting to retain the ball a lot more, hold on to possession, and that's why they're reaping the rewards.
Wairangi's first jinx for the day.
Yeah, hey, it just happens.
It keeps happening too now.
Now the Leopards really do need to strike back. You've got 17 minutes, and they haven't been able to bust the line. Beecroft comes across and shuts down Blackwell. He's played a superb hand today, Beecroft, with the football now. It's only foul, and he's nailed in the tackle of Blake Uwe. Howick have been just fantastic, and of course, as a proud East Aucklander, I suppose, Lindley, he'd be pretty content if they're able to get up. And isn't it good to see the re-emergence of clubs that I guess have languished in the lower divisions for some time, coming into the top tier and really proving their worth. They've had a superb season under captain coach Witherell, who was supposed to be an Aussie this year, but came back, and his whole whānau very involved in the club and in this team. Here is Turu Whenua.
Yeah, it's great to see just a team from the East. We've been, most of the clubs out in East Auckland, around the 3rd division, knocking on the door of 2nd division for quite some years now.
There's a try.
No.
Why not?
Knock on.
Oh, come on. Come on now. My connections footy-wise, as our family club, are with Blockhouse Bay, which has, morphed into Bay Roskell. And was at the centenary of Otahuhu last week, and a reminder that, whichever club you support, it's being supportive of what has become a fabric, part of the fabric of community. And Graham Lowe touched on this when he spoke at Bay Roskell's anniversary recently, and how important it is for young players to have focus, keeping them active. But the networking and whakawhanangatanga opportunities through sport are sometimes underestimated by parents. So if you're watching today, mum, dad, your boys aren't playing team sport, it's not just about the fitness. There's a whole lot of advantages to community advantages by having your youngsters involved in sport.
And girls, not just the boys and the girls too. Mum, dad, get your daughters out there.
Youngsters isn't gender specific, Lindley.
You said boys.
Little knock on there. Well, nothing seems to be working at the moment. Can't turn a trick. Wairangi Otahu.
Tika tō kōrua deo hoi anō he mahana pōro I tērā wā I te kapu o ngā Otahuhu Leopards ka re tae rātou te whai hua. Yes, you're right, mate. Nothing seemed to have come off for the Otahuhu boys today, and that's pretty much been the story of the game for them. 2 sets on the line there, and couldn't come up with anything positive at the end of it. Sonny Walker coming up with a little bit of mistake. I'm sure that both teams, but more the Otahuhu Leopards will be looking forward to a hot, clean shower after this game.
How much will it dent their confidence? They certainly have their eyes on defending their title. We've got Mount Albert, who also started off slow wide, but they're starting to hit stride now. You've got Glenora, who's peppering all of the top teams from the west, and of course you've got this East Auckland outfit as well. So certainly a lot of work for Peter Kashiapoli to do if they're to defend their title one last season.
I don't think they'll come away from this too disappointed. It was this very testing conditions. There are games that you really do want to pick up the 2 points in, because they're one of those games. If your team can win ugly, in terms of not flashy football, just grinding it out. Those 2 points are really valuable to your team at the end of the year. So, but I don't think they'll be too disappointed. I think Pete will reflect on the positives for his side, and if they come up in these sort of conditions again, they'll be wiser and more experienced for it. But it's great competition this year. Having that. We've got the top teams at the top, but we've also got giant killers down the bottom who can pull up upsets at any time. So, the competition is in great stead this year, Dale.
Good enough, and I guess an example of that and a reason to watch out tomorrow afternoon here, Hallmark, is that Manurewa, who are struggling at the foot of the table, are up against Glenora, who are sitting in third place. Here is Otahuhu with the first real opportunity. Sonny Walker comes close to the sideline. Fa'avesi will get hold of him.
Too close to the sideline. Oh,
great
that's lucky.
effort. Brilliant effort by Sonny Walker to stay on the field of play. Play the ball now for Marsh. Marsh now to Funui wide. Now it's Blackwell. Blackwell decides he'll go even super wide.
Yeah, good read by Troy. I bet you that was Troy Beecroft. Yes, number 7.
Good on you, my boy, says Lindley.
Good read there, Troy. Needed to be done. He pushed up on umbrella, read what Otahuhu were looking at achieving, and just popped their bubble.
Pop their balloon. I guess he did too. He came in. It's a little bit of a risky play, as we see another little man on big man.
Right, boys.
Big effort, Troy Beecroft. And he's going to bake you a banana cake, young fella.
Nah. Make a good banana cake, actually, there, Dale.
Hope we get a chance to find out, Lindley. Through the middle we go. I'd like to also mention to our mate Nicky Wright. Wonderful to have Nicky in our commentary team last week. And then Nairi, who came down from the Hokianga. 10 minutes.
He's swinging up. He's going in there with a punch, okay? I'm signalling his punch. Since he's come back down. He hasn't got his brains on. Punch. Punch.
Wow. Big call from Hayden.
Well, that's interesting. I thought second time he got marched.
Yeah, normally, second offence, that's it. You're off to the showers.
We might have a look at it.
That'll be disappointing for Otahuhu, especially for Tarquin too. As you've said before, that sort of play's not in his game. We're not used to seeing that. He's a very well-respected player on the field, so must just be having one of those days, which is unfortunate.
So here he comes, Tarquin.
Oh, nothing in it, Hayden. Come on, mate. Unfortunate, Tarquin. Unfortunate, mate. Oh, this guy wants to get dirty. Look at that. That's far too clean for being on the field.
Enjoy your whiteness for as long as you can, Morgan. Because you're going to be pretty muddy in a moment.
But racist, he's the only white guy out there besides the referee at the moment. Yeah, have some mud.
There he goes now. He's a good player, actually. I've been impressed by him. I've watched him down at Mount Richmond a few times. The Hornets steadying themselves for another tilt at the line. They're about 20 metres from the try line as Weatherall passes it out to Tuia once again. They're one of the standout players. In fact, would have to be in line for the player of the day today, Big Tony.
I'd say it'll be between Tony, Troy and also Leroy. They've all been playing just a very consistent game and a great game, and they've been, the whole go forward, and also Lee as well, the whole go forward for Howick and the rest of the teams just followed him behind them and enjoyed their leadership.
There's Tuia doing the spin.
Oh, no, knock on.
Little knock on there from Tony Tuia.
That's his first mistake, 70 minutes in. Be all right with that.
That would have been a blue. Stop it.
Stop it.
Well, Wairangi, this Howard team, look, you've got to pay some tribute to them, don't you? Try as they may, Otahuhu haven't breached the defence. It's been a real good show by the squad. I thought it was going to be a lot tighter than it is. But certainly the Howick Hornets have had the better of the Otahuhu Leopards here today. They haven't been helped by 2 periods of 10 by Tarquin Court, and that surprises me. It's not often you see a bloke sin bin twice in one game. Wairangi.
Koera, katahi rā te tākoro aho ohorere ki ahau hoki. Yeah, that's pretty surprising to me as well. And I think Hayden Price might look back at that decision on tape probably at the end of the day and say maybe it was the wrong call, but maybe a little bit frustrated. Second offence by Tarquin Court. He maybe thought that wasn't worth leaving him on the field and causing some damage if he got too frustrated. But like you said, Dale, the Howick Hornets been outstanding today. I think it's one thing that Lee Withers will be very happy with is the defensive efforts on the part of, especially around the middle. The big boys. It's not a lot of room to move around the middle of the park there. There's very limited space. You're not as agile in these types of conditions. So they will be, Lee Withers will be very happy with his prop forwards and how well a job they've done on defence.
I've been hugely impressed by them. This is really only our second chance to see them, and they've been just fantastic today. Lots to like about their attitude. That ball's gone deep. Wakeford is there. And combines, I think, with Andrew Kitchener to secure the football 10 out from his own line. Great to have the return also of our mate Kotuku Tibble back to our Te Reo channel. Of course, you are able to watch coverage of many sports, including the Fox, on the Te Reo channel, available on Sky Digital 59, and that's totally in Te Reo Māori. And of course, we've got the return this week of the newly married Mr. Kotuku Tibble. Congratulations to him and Mary. Tied each other up in knots last Saturday.
Oh, yuck.
That's one way of saying that. In other words, they got married.
You've got it. I don't know what you were thinking, Whiting. Down the left-hand side we come with Otahuhu.
Not necessary.
No, well, frustration would be, building here. As we refer to it in Māori television, the Hoha meter for Otahuhu is on the right. Out the back door to Funui. This is better play. Now it's for Sonny Walker. Patavesi shadows him, gets the ball across. Lovely ball too. Out to Morgan Wardrop. And Wardrop is put away. 10 out from the try line. Now, Otahuhu. Can they finally get across the line? And there is the play for the end goal.
What does the ref say?
Referee's had a look. He'll say that'll do me. And there is the try. It's Kyle Boss who's the try scorer.
There was a great triple backdoor play there, and that's pretty hard to pull off in these conditions with everybody trying to sludge through the mud puddles. But that was just well played out, and great rewards there to Otahuhu. Finally, points on the board.
Points on the board. Better late than never, though. Of course, 5 minutes to play. Let's have another look. So it comes out. This is the previous play, which saw Wardrop with a good run down the side. Great ball there from Walker. Steps back on the inside and Wakeford does superbly well to put away the flyer. Then it comes across to Blackwell.
That was good thinking there to put that chip in because he saw them all up off the line, get it in behind them. I actually thought that pass out to the wing was forward. I was waiting for a call, but it wasn't. Otahuhu come away with the try.
As expected, the conversion was successful from eventually in front. So a bit of respectability to the scoreline at 26-8, but sadly, too little too late, as the Hornets will win this one and give us a chance to have a look at some of the telling stats. Well, as far as completing sets, the Leopards completed 19 of their 31. As we see again, this is Blackwell with the grubber kick through and Boss on hand to collect the 4 points. Their opponents today, the Howick Hornets, a very, very well-controlled game in trying conditions, as we've all noted today. 32 from 42 sets. And of course that's forced the Otahuhu squad to make a stack more tackles. And in fact, just looking at the stats there, 40 extra tackles thus far. And so that's, what's that? Close on 7 sets of defence. And that's going to sap the energy from them. Plus, of course, their prop forward was out for 2 periods of 10. So, as Waitangi mentioned, perhaps Kachipuli won't be as disappointed as some might have thought by this performance. If you're a Howick supporter, you'd have to be very, very pleased. Troy Sullivan's got a start now in strip number 14. He's on the left wing. How long he'll maintain his cleanliness.
Push him towards the kick it down there into the mud puddle. But you have to feel for Otahuhu in this game. You know, you can see that they've got a lot of young fellas out there, you know, 17, 18-year-olds, and they've all been trying to give it a go. You know, the thing that they've missed out on really is a bit of just hard running up the middle with some quick dummy half runs. And if they would have been able to get on the back of a few of those, it might have been a different story. So, but they've been having a go. They've just kept to it, and who's to know in years to come for Otahuhu with those young fellas. You know, a lot of great depth there.
Well, that's what it's about, isn't it? It's very much a rebuilding phase, but that's not isolated just to Otahuhu. A lot of the clubs are in that rebuilding scene, and Mount Albert would be another good example. They've lost a lot of players, but we're so used to seeing them at the top of the competition. It's going to be interesting, without doubt. The top four starting to determine themselves. Of course, the Northcote Tigers are there or thereabouts too. But you're looking at two in the top. Mount Albert will be there, so will Glenora. And the Northcote Tigers as well in 5th position. Just reminding you of tomorrow's game. And that sees the Manurewa Marlins lining up against the Glenora Bears. Should be a cracker. Hope you're able to join us between 2 and 4 o'clock each weekend here for bilingual coverage of the Fox. And of course, the Marlins at the moment sitting in 7th position with just the 1 win from their 6 starts. The Marist Saints are staying in touch somewhat. They go into this weekend's round 7 with 6 points, with 3 wins from their 6 starts.
In these conditions, and Howick, they just pulled off what we call a mousetrap in their last set, and Otahuhu's just tried to pull one off too, and it wasn't the call for it. Not right now, not this time in the game. You know, you just need to get going forward, get your basics, you know, keep your basics right, which they haven't been doing very well in this game, and just, you know, get some chases down on the back end of a kick to possibly get yourself a try in the last minutes.
That man who fed the scrum's been outstanding today, right from go to woe. We're talking Troy Beecroft as we see Troy Sullivan tackled about 25 out from the line. Vessi's been good. This man's been superb. Tony Tuia. And again.
Tuia puts the step on, then the fend, looks to offload, sells a dummy. What doesn't this guy do? all in one run.
I tell you what, he's been just great. Here is Vessi. And there is the full-time hooter. What a wonderful victory it has been for the Howick Hornets. A tough game, and of course just the 1 try scored in the 23rd minute in the first half. And at the final wrap-up of it, the Hornets 26-8 winners over the Leopards. Lindley Tianimani, a strong performance by a team who is favoured to be there or thereabouts come finals time.
Well, they did well. You know, basically all they did was they did the little things right. They did the basics right, and then they built from that. Where Otahuhu, you know, they come out and they come out too flash. They need to just get the basics right first.
Well, let's have a look at as they wrap it up. And some disappointment evidenced certainly by Otahuhu, but for their opponents today, the Howick Hornets, well, I tell you what, they'll be having a good old peel back of some nice kai tonight, and maybe a few quiet bevies, well earned too, in the mud at Mountfort Park. 26-8 winners in this top of the table clash of the Fox. The Howick Hornets take the Leopards 26-8. Stay with us. We'll come back for post-match interviews, run through the stats, and wrap it up for you from Mountfort Park. The Hornets too strong for the Leopards in round 7.
Relive the greatest moments.
He's still on his feet. Romo could score. That's a great try for New Zealand.
In the history.
This is the rugby that people want to see. This is great rugby. Tremendous.
Of the Rugby World Cup.
Hunting like a pack. Cuts inside. It's on delivery.
He goes to Kiri. Aklam goes all the way. And that is the stairway to rugby heaven.
Rugby World Cup Classic matches tonight at 8.
Matariki Festival 11. Celebrate Māori New Year in Auckland. Programs and schedules at matarikifestival.org.nz. Don't miss out.
He pōtitanga whānui tō tēnei tau me tētahi tāpaitanga. If you didn't get your enrolment pack, then you're not enrolled to vote. Kia whiwhia I tētahi puka whakauru, haerekielections.org.nz, free text rānei tō ingoa me tō wāhino hoki 3676. Engawari.
Welcome to the Energy Spot. What uses a lot of energy, but we get little benefit from? Electronic appliances on standby. Believe it or not, they use enough energy to power not one, but over 55,000 homes each year. And that's huge. It's a growing problem. We're buying more and more appliances. By 2020, we could have so many that require double the power we use now. The amount of power similar appliances use varies. This TV uses around half the power of this one, yet they cost about the same. Choose products with a low standby wattage and look for the Energy Star. It shows it's one of the most energy efficient. Here's a tip. There are over 10 million home electronic products in New Zealand homes. So switching off when you're done makes a huge difference. It's not about giving things up, just choosing and using them wisely. I'll see you next time on the Energy Spot.
Hello, Fergus, who really believes in free TV here. Let me tell you about my Freeview. It's real clever stuff that will completely change the way you watch TV. At the touch of a button, you can record an entire series, record one channel while you're watching another, even pause live TV. And because it's Freeview, you don't have to pay any subscriptions ever, so you'll never miss your favourite shows, no matter what. My Freeview's sold here.
Rugby World Cup 2011 is coming, and the world will have its eyes on Aotearoa.
From the bustling streets of London to the shores of Africa.
Rugby fans the world over will be watching the biggest sporting event ever held in New Zealand.
And only one channel brings you the whole event free. All 48 games, every All Black game live, free to your whare on Māori television. Rugby World Cup 2011.
And what a way for the Howick Hornets to celebrate their 50th Jubilee. Their dinner on tonight at their East Auckland club, and a win by 26 points to 8 over the reigning premiers. And it was a 6-2 scoreline at half-time, but they kicked away in that second half. A fine performance by the Howick Hornets, and they maintained their position on the top of the Fox table. Of course, some disappointment with the skipper of the Otahuhu Leopards. Let's go to Wairangi and Fred Turuwhenua.
Well, Fred, mate, tough day at the office today for you boys.
Definitely a tough day at the office, tough day in the mud, that's all I want to say, but hey, it's all good, we learned a lesson and we just got to get more hungry.
Mate, you must take some positives out of this game though. You boys have been travelling really well up until this point.
Definitely taking positive out of this game. We learned a lesson against Howick. They're probably the most settled team out of all the teams this year, and now we just got to look to improve and work on a little bit of things and just get up for next week.
Altering your game plan, probably the biggest thing in these types of conditions?
Definitely, but we've got heaps of young guys and it's hard to alter it on the field, but guess we've got to do that at training and just get the boys to think a little bit more and play a bit smarter.
And pretty tough, obviously, playing with 12 men for 20 minutes of the game.
Yeah, definitely tough, but these are things you've got to play with and just got to move on.
Fair enough, bro. Well, good luck for the next week, eh?
Cheers, brother.
Let's have a look at some of the stats as they panned out. Really, it was the extra defensive work. It sapped the energy from the Leopards in the back half of that second 40. And some very good stats from the Hornets. So 33 from 43 as far as completions. Very, very good in these conditions, Lindley.
Absolutely, and look at the metres gained. You know, in a game like today with the conditions and that sort of metres gained from the Howick Hornets. 1,161 metres. That's just amazing, and it shows with the Otahuhu didn't have as much of the ball, and they had to make. They actually got 40 more tackles. So that's pretty much seven sets extra tackling than the Howick Hornets needed to do.
And of course the missed tackles. Too big, can't win that way. Hey, Captain Fantastic was again at his best, and he steered the ship. The ship did not founder. The ship sailed on into the sunset and picked up a big win. Let's go to Lee Weatherall. He's with Wai.
Well, I think it's Lee Witherell underneath all that mud. Can't really tell, but mate, must be pretty happy with the effort of your boys today.
Very happy, very proud of the boys. Knew it was going to be a hard game, but the conditions, our boys played very well in the mud, and just real proud of.
Mate, you guys, I listened to you at half time. The direction to the boys was clear, and it showed in that second half, putting on 18, 20 points.
Yeah, no, we just said we just got to stick to the basics, hold the ball, make sure we get up, play the ball, just plug up the middle, get to our kicks and complete sets, and that's what we did, and points would come.
But what are you more happy about, putting on 26 points or restricting Otahuhu to 8?
No, defence. I was real proud of the boys' defence. Not try at the end there, but probably was going to happen. But just to keep them to that score in this mud, the boys just put in a mean effort in defence, and just real proud of that, eh?
Mate, 6 wins in a row now for Howick. How do you keep that roll running?
I don't know, mate. The boys are still, they can see there's a bit of light at the end of the tunnel, and we're working towards our main goal. And for the first time, Howick's where they are, and boys are just amped, and just keep going, mate. Just keep going.
Well, go enjoy your shower, mate. It's going to be a long one.
Yeah, for sure. I hope the water's nice and warm, mate. I just want to say about our club. It's our 50th Jubilee, and we're having our celebrations this weekend. And I just want to say to Howick, well done, and have a good night tonight, everybody.
Cheers, Lee. Cheers, mate.
Ai, ki te tautoko tō kōrero, Lee, and congratulations to the Howick Hornets. Right, the Manurewa Marlins are our feature match tomorrow from round 7. Tune in from 2 till 4 o'clock for bilingual coverage here on Māori television, and also full commentary roto te reo Māori and our Te Reo Māori channel. Plenty of sport coming up across the week, as you know, here on Māori television. Talihi and the boys are in at 10 on Thursday with Boil Up, and the Code Couch is full as always, 8:30 on Thursday. Hope you enjoyed today's kōrero from us up in the commentary position, myself and Lindley Tianimani, who was for the very first time our first wahine commentator in Rugby League here on Māori television. I thank her, and from us upstairs it's Heiko Neira. We're down to Wairangi. He's going to send us off until tomorrow. Tēnā koe e wai.
Hoi anō e te iwi a pōpō, ka hikina ngā taiaha anō mō tēnei whakataiatai, the Appliance Shed Fox Memorial, 2 teams taking on each other again tomorrow in our feature match. But mai mātou, ngā reo pāpā ho mō tēnei kēmu, Wairangi Dale, me Lindley Tianimani, tēnā koutou katoa.
Kia whakaata Māori a te rānei. Koi nei te whakaaturanga tuarua o homai te pakipaki, engari kua kati ki ngā pōti. Aro mai a te whā. Whaiwiri mai he hōtaka tēnei e whakaatua nei ngā kaupapa katoa mo te umanga Māori. Ko he whare pakihi.